The news always shows the negative sides of everything. They're never gonna show you this. They're never gonna show you all of the families out here playing with toys, blowing bubbles, enjoying the nice sunset right on the coastline. This is what the news will never show you. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another beautiful day here in Sri Lanka. And unfortunately, this is gonna be, I think, the last video you guys see from this country. I've had an amazing 3 weeks here. It's going down as one of my favorites of all time, and I'm definitely going to be coming back to Sri Lanka many more times. I've had many friends that come here and keep coming back, and now I can see why. This country is absolutely beautiful. The people I've met have been incredible. The food's been amazing.
You're too good.
Oh, look. Danny just came on in. So Danny's actually going to be in my video today. He's been in Sri Lanka for a little over a month now. He's actually extending his visa, and today we're going to cover a question that's coming up a lot. Is Sri Lanka a safe place to visit? Now, I can see why you guys ask these questions, especially with all of the crazy things that have gone on in the country, unfortunately, over the past few years. However, today, we will answer all of those questions, and you will be 100% confident on whether or not Sri Lanka is worth visiting by the time you're done watching this video. So, Danny's with me today. He's one of those great, amazing people I've met here in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you know, when coming to Sri Lanka, especially even me myself, I'm like, I see people traveling, I'm sure it's fine. I've talked to some people, I was like, hey, is it like quiet, is it like not busy? And they were like, I'm not sure. So when I came here, I expected to see something which is going to be a little bit off. I mean, I'm going to leave it up to you, but honestly, it was different, very alive. And if you don't watch the news, your perception of reality might be quite different, you know?
Exactly. And I feel like you know, like a lot of places in the world, there's many countries that are going through their struggles, but the people very much remain positive, and that's what you see here in Sri Lanka. You see a lot of positivity, and I'm not going to dive on into the question on if it's safe just yet. However, I do want to pick Danny's brains a little bit because, well, we actually met in Colombo, what, 3.5 weeks ago now?
I don't know, man. Like, if that's the case, then time flies. I feel like 2 or 3 weeks, yes, roundabout, something like that, yeah.
Time flies when you're having a good time, and we've been having a great time here in Sri Lanka, but we've also had different routes. So we've explored different parts of the country that, you know, well, he's been in places that I didn't get to experience, and vice versa. So it's nice to pick each other's brains. So Danny, I'm going to interview you a little bit today, and I want to know, what has your overall okay, actually, let's start with, what were your expectations when you came to Sri Lanka? What were you thinking Sri Lanka was going to be like?
Oh, terrible. I thought it would be no, look, I mean, first of all, it's an island, I know that. I saw some little videos, photos of people. I know the tourism is fairly high, but also if you watch the news, you're seeing Capitol buildings being stormed, you see everything is collapsing, everything is going down the drain in a way. And actually, the building, do you know the parliament is right down the road, do you know that?
Yes, right there, actually,
so
right?
The building that they stormed like a little bit over a year ago. I don't know too much about it, don't want to talk about things I don't know about, but so what did I expect? As always, you know, there's a lot of countries. Me personally, let's say I have a background in Ukraine, and there's always things going on. I mean, I don't want to talk about that either, but basically it's like, if you watch the news, you're gonna often think that things are really bad, and I'm sure there is places in the world where that is the case, whereas at the same time, like, you can travel to so many places right now where the news are gonna tell you don't go, it's gonna be so bad. And Sri Lanka, I have to tell you, I expected to see at least a little bit something icky, and I have to tell you, I was surprised. It's one of the easiest countries to travel. It's almost a little bit like too comfortable in the tourist area. So Colombo, we talked about it a second ago. Should we just like keep walking?
Yeah, let's keep walking.
I mean, Colombo, we talked about it. Colombo has like a lot of flavor. It's very busy, very active. So depending on the area you go to, either it's going to be like really modern like here, or it's going to be like a crazy market area where you will see all kinds of like different, let's say, impressions.
Yeah, to say the least, yeah.
Well, you know, like people like really like super old school trade. They do old school over there. The tourist towns, depending which one you go to, so I've checked out a couple. Belgaum, Marissa, forgot the other names. I'm going to Ahangama. People tell me it's supposed to be a little bit quieter. I'm going there tomorrow, actually. So there, if you drop yourself off there, it's a little bit kind of like Bali, but even maybe more touristy in the sense that like it's purely like a different world, you know. It's like the backdrop is Sri Lanka, but the life on the ground is like you know, just people coming here to visit. So there, I would say super safe, almost a little bit too safe. A little bit like if you come to just relax and enjoy the beach, perfect. If you come to kind of like experience a little bit something, it's almost a little bit boring in a sense.
Exactly.
You know, so for me 5 days beach, wonderful, but then I'm getting a bit slow. It's just like a crowd of people that just want to, like, let's say party or maybe surf. I'm not into both really, so that's kind of like why I left. Where the nature is some of the best in the world. I mean, it's a little bit better than I thought. Yeah, so that's kind of like my impressions. Basically very calm. Even like more crazier places like train stations are easy to navigate, which surprised me. Like a train station or a bus station in India, you have to buckle up a little bit. You have to, you know,
it takes some preparation mentally and physically.
So I thought here Sri Lanka would be similar, but it's actually like super chill. Like even the guys working at a train station speak like perfect, very calm English, where you're like, you know, so very easy to travel. And honestly, I wish it would be a little bit less touristy. Maybe we should have come in a little bit earlier. I was thinking the same thing actually. You know, right now you've heard me mention it several times on the channel, guys, especially on the coastal towns, as Danny just mentioned. Man, it's very, very touristic. It's almost hard to find authentic Sri Lankan culture without actually, like, you know, going off the beaten path and putting yourself in that situation. But at the same time, it's nice to see, especially after all of the struggles that the country has faced over the past few years. But just like Danny, I didn't know what to expect, man. When I told people I was coming to Sri Lanka, the DMs that I was getting were absolutely crazy. People were like, they're going through a crazy economic crisis. There's no fuel in the country. What are you doing? There's not even food. One thing I have seen, bro, absolutely busted buses on the side of the road, completely broken, flipped over. Saw it once or twice.
Okay.
It's kind of like abandoned. If you go inland, so I got a scooter and I just drove through like from Kandy to Sigiraya, or I think. That was the only thing I saw, and that's kind of like what I thought you would see more of. And I think you probably did see a good amount of that maybe like half a year ago, maybe a year ago. But now you just don't. Like you don't see anything.
And you know, I thought I was gonna be running into like political protests, things like that, especially after watching the news. But you guys gotta always remember, and I talk about this everywhere I go in the world where places are considered dangerous. The news always shows the negative sides of everything. They're never gonna show you this. They're never gonna show you all of the families out here playing with toys, blowing bubbles, enjoying the nice sunset right on the coastline. This is what the news will never show you. And it's kind of sad because, to be honest, I can imagine how many people book their tickets or have thoughts of coming out to Sri Lanka, and just like you and I, you know, we got all these negative thoughts in our head from what we see in the media, and it almost you almost drift away from your plans. And to be honest, I was in that same position, but I'm so glad I came here because just like Danny, I have really grown to love this country. It's actually very easy to navigate around. A lot of people were, hello, how's it going? A lot of people were comparing Sri Lanka to India, and I don't think that it's a monkey.
Yes.
I'm okay right now, thank you.
Michael, good. Nice photograph.
I'm okay right now, thank you.
You see my hair cobra? Two cobra.
I've seen the cobras already. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And see, this is what I'm saying. It's cool. You can just say no and they'll leave you alone. A lot of people have been comparing, and I'm talking about these vendors that try and, you know, they're on the hustle. But a lot of people told me that Sri Lanka was going to be just like India, but I am here to tell you guys that it is completely different. I've noticed that this country is a lot calmer. The people are a lot, okay, Indian people are very friendly too. Don't kill me in the comments, guys, but it's different. Traveling as a tourist in like a place like Delhi or Mumbai, you're always on your toes. Exactly.
Much less dense here.
And that's the big difference. But in a place like Mumbai or Delhi, you're constantly on your toes as a foreigner. Everybody's trying to sell you something. Everybody's trying to come up and talk to you in a genuine way, but then, you know, 5 minutes into giving your attention to somebody, you realize, no, he's just trying to take money from me.
It's all about the suit.
So, exactly, the suits. And here you don't find that. Now, as far as Sri Lanka's being safe, I'm gonna go ahead and speak first on this one. I have felt extremely comfortable here in the country the entire time. From the moment I've stepped foot on this land, it's been nothing but smiles, nothing but great energy. The country, I don't know about you, Danny, but it has absolutely exceeded every expectation. The nature's incredible. The beaches, some of the best I've seen in the world, and I love that they're like very virgin. Like there's not big hotels right on the beach. Here in Colombo you do find that, but in many other places there's just public beaches everywhere, and it's not like going to a place like Mexico or even on the coast of Thailand where they're filled with resorts and you can't even access the beaches. Here you don't have that problem. So it's been a great experience, and I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you feel? Do you love this country? You feel like you're gonna be back?
I'm definitely gonna be back. Honestly, I feel like for me personally, like I just want to be like honest, especially if it's your video, you know, you can destroy me in the comments if you want to. For me, it's a little bit slightly too much. Let's say it's not a big island, so mostly it's kind of like developed for ease of travel, ease of tourism, and God bless them. I hope that the tourism is going to do even better. I was expecting a little bit more of an adventure factor for myself, which I didn't got as much, in the sense of like I thought there would be some moments where I'm gonna be like, oh, this is a bit edgy, oh okay, but actually it has been just like super comfy, super chill all the time. I mean, like I've broken down with a scooter once. Some local guys, like, you know, they got a rope and they put me to their scooter and drove me down to the mechanic. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one time I'm gonna get lost in Sri Lanka. 20 minutes later, the scooter is repaired, everything's fine, cost me like $5. And I was like, that was way too easy, man. You know?
Yeah.
That was like my wildest story, if you will. So yeah, but other than that,
I love the way Danny talks. He keeps it super real. That's super true.
The beaches, like there's definitely some that seem like you drive on the train and you see very often there's like really beautiful beaches where there's nothing on there. You're right about that. But at the same time, still the beach towns, they're at the level of development where it's like, it's not all the way, where it's kind of like a Mexico vibe. I haven't been actually, so they're not all the way developed like, let's say, in some places like Thailand. But some beach towns are really nice, really cute, nice places. But the other ones, they're kind of like a little bit more, really, I think like you have to like find the beach town that you like, and you definitely will. But there's some I like more than others.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I would have wished it would be a little bit more even undeveloped. I expected that, but it's a small island, it's a lot of tourism, so it kind of makes sense. But just for travel and just for enjoying, and like, I don't know, maybe even take the family out here, super safe, super chill, so, you know.
Yeah, it's a great place. Okay, so I think me and Danny are a little bit different. We travel full time now. We've been doing it for many years, and we seek adventure. We seek to feel like slightly uncomfortable in places. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it out there. I don't want to feel like hell of uncomfortable, but I seek to feel like, you know, slightly uncomfortable, seek to face like some challenges day to day. But here it's just, you don't run into any of that. Everything is just extremely smooth, extremely easy. I mean, I've been traveling by tuk-tuk around the country, but Danny's actually been using public transportation quite a bit. The trains, like most people do when they come to Sri Lanka.
Trains and scooters, very easy. The trains,
very easy, right?
The trains, like, super affordable and really good. First class, $5.
With air conditioning, right?
Yeah. I was even doing some work on there, like plug in myself. Yeah.
See, so it's a very comfortable country to come and visit. And to be honest, I think for all of you guys thinking, is Sri Lanka a safe place for me to visit or not? It definitely is. Come on out here, support the economy. As we mentioned, some places are a little too touristic for me. Like Ella, I wasn't a big fan of that place, but many of you guys will come and visit and that'll be your cup of tea. But to each his own.
If you come for travel, it's like perfect. It's like when I talk to people about Bali, I'm like, if you come to travel and you're fine with like everything being very developed, you're gonna love it. And like me, I'm not necessarily looking for the thrill or discomfort or adventure. It usually finds me.
Fair enough.
But my expectation was that there is going to be a bit more of that, you know. That's just kind of like a thing. And then I was like, where is all the edge that people were like, oh, you're really going, so yeah, I mean, as we said, we already said everything, so yeah,
come out to Sri
top
Lanka.
10 countries, man.
Yeah, it's awesome place. It didn't disappoint. I'll be back. As you guys can tell, this is the vibes here in the city. Now, we actually just got done talking about this, and these are the only things I hate in the country. I'm not gonna lie. The crows, they're massive. They're massive and they attack absolutely everyone. Yesterday I was eating a pizza, dude.
I like it. Spirit animal.
It's a spirit animal, but yesterday I was eating a pizza and like 3 surround my table, and I'm like trying to shoo them away, and they don't even get intimidated. They're like, bro, don't mess with me. Like, I'm gonna come at you. So, I mean, look at this, guys. Look at these tourists here just sitting down with the locals drinking some beers. I mean, this is Sri Lanka. It's a great place. Now, we're gonna end the video on this note because we're at 14 minutes in. A lot of people, we talked about this on Danny's video, a lot of people come to Sri Lanka, and as soon as they get out the airport, they hop into a taxi, a bus, and they go straight to the beaches, straight to the coast, which is completely understandable. However, most people forget Colombo. And what do you have to say about that, Danny?
Well, I talk about every country has a brand. I didn't mention it in my video, but I think like people come and they're pre-sold on a certain idea and experience they're gonna have. People go to Thailand and they're like, oh my god, Bangkok, cannot wait, I love it, big city, da da da. And then there's other countries, maybe like Sri Lanka, I don't know exactly everyone's perception of it, but people are like, ah, Colombo, there's nothing, it's not a really nice place, I'm gonna leave as soon as possible. People have that maybe with Manila, Philippines, with many cities. And I just think it's like a little bit of a brand issue in the sense of like Colombo, I actually think pretty nice rooftop bars, super nice walk-in area here, pretty nice mall, good Wi-Fi connection. So especially if you like travel long term, you need good Wi-Fi. It's a very interesting city, pretty unique. So that's my opinion. Stay for a couple of days if you're interested in the culture, or stay even longer if you're like working remotely. That's it. I mean,
yeah,
it's a solid, like, yes, solid city actually.
I feel like as just like he mentioned, as someone that works remote, Colombo is definitely the place in the country where you're gonna feel the most comfortable. I mean, fast internet, very modern buildings, extremely beautiful malls. You're gonna find all of your Western comfort food as well, while also getting a nice local feel of the city. Now, I'm gonna leave you guys with one more note. The beaches down in the south, obviously, they're hyped up for a reason. They're super beautiful. It's a great place to go if you like to surf. But like, I'm just like, dude, it's kind of scary how much we're like, I don't surf. I'm not into, yeah, all of the stuff that's going on down there. You know, the vegan restaurants, the yoga. Like, it's just not me. But if that's you, then by all means, go and relax. Especially if you're taking your 2-week vacation out of the year. Go be comfortable. Go relax. Go hang out on the beach all day long. It's perfectly fine. But if you want to submerge yourself in the culture, if you really want to experience the big city craziness as well, I highly recommend Colombo. It's a great place. It's a beautiful city. It's very comfortable, and to be honest, I'll be back.
In an area that you're gonna find enjoyable.
Exactly.
Like, that is the thing. I think people make the mistake. They go to any city, they stay at the wrong area, they see one street and they tell everybody how bad it was.
Yeah.
And like, trust me, there's bad streets in the most famous, beautiful cities. Like, try find a bad street in Los Angeles or New York, man. Like, good luck.
It'll ruin your experience. You'll be like, I'm never going back.
It'll ruin your life, bro.
And same thing with here, guys. Look, this is the hotel I stayed at the first time in Colombo, but literally right behind this presidential palace, it's a completely different world what's happening back there. The Peta Market, you guys seen Danny in that video. Pretty hectic place, but overall, guys, Sri Lanka, yes, safe place to visit. I'll be back. I had an incredible time here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it answered some of your questions. Please make sure to check out Danny's channel. He's filmed some incredible videos here in Sri Lanka, and to be honest, probably a lot more informative than I have. He really talks about you know, the way that, how comfortable it is to actually live in a place, and whether or not it's your cup of tea or not.
Yeah,
so,
I travel, like, let's say, I usually don't even use the word travel, I say living around the world. So every place I come to, I build a routine, I find the nice parts of town to stay, just nice areas, nice hotels, because I think too many people travel in a way that it's exhausting.
It's exhausting,
and then they're like, oh, I cannot travel. But I think if you have the opportunity, especially let's say you work remotely and you come to a place and you kind of find your areas and your parts and you build a little bit your day-to-day life, actually Sri Lanka is a super comfortable place. Right?
Yeah, it is.
For like staying months even, maybe. So yeah, documenting my life from that, let's say, lens.
It's nice. It's a different perspective. That's the best thing about YouTube, is like, so many people are like, but isn't there so many people doing the same thing? Everybody has their own touch, their own personality, and their own outlook on everything. And yeah, Danny has some great videos out there. Check them out. And for now, guys, I'm gonna enjoy my beautiful last sunset here in Colombo. It's been a great time, a great trip in Sri Lanka. I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I will most definitely be back. Now, on to the craziness. I'll see you guys in India. Later, bro. It was so good seeing you. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Good luck.
You were always smarter. I was the one to tag along.